Herc, if we look at the 180 minutes as a whole, right? Because let's look at this 90, which was mostly a man down, and then let's look at the first 90, which is mostly a man up. How do you think Gregg Berhalter handled the different situations, and what do you think of his tactics in the two games, given that they were both very different and called for very different things? How did he manage these games? Because this is different than the last two windows, which were a couple friendlies. This were real competitive matches with something on the line.
Yeah, even those friendlies, the Gregg Berhalter second era, the 2.0, let's talk about it for a second, right? 5 games, he's won 4, lost 1, and that was against Germany. Uzbekistan, that 3-0 win that didn't really feel like a 3-0 win. Do you remember that? Oman, okay, they rolled over them. And then you had the second game, I think it was Germany and Ghana. It didn't really feel like complete performances. The scorelines were there, but it didn't feel complete. The same thing can be said about Trinidad and Tobago in the States, about Trinidad losing 3-0, and you get your first goal in the 82nd minute. Hell, you got your first shot on goal in the 55th minute. You played a 4-2-2-2, drove me crazy. It drives me crazy when coaches think they're smarter than they need to be. I'll just move these pawns, I'll move these pieces, and these players will react this way. That was the first mistake. Then, it's not saying, you know what, this didn't work, scratch that at halftime. Malik Tillman, Kevin Perez, I'm sorry I put you in those positions, out. Let's take a breather. Let's get Ricardo Pepi in. Let's get Brendan Aronson in. And when he did that, and they moved into 4-4-2, or a variation of that, they looked good, and they ended up scoring 3 quick goals towards the end. But that could have hurt you. Like, imagine if that game was a 1-0 result or a 0-0, could have easily been a frustrating game. And now you come into this game and this happens. It would have been disastrous. Now this game, Case, you touched upon it, right? I mean, 2 blocks, 2 defensive blocks, a 4-4-1, take a striker out, defend. Nobody's going to say, what are you doing defending against Trinidad in this situation? Everybody will know, will understand because of the circumstances. Thought he took too long. I don't know why he took Giovanni. Let me rephrase that. I can see why he took Giovanni Reyna out in this game, given his history, given his lack of being able to be fit throughout a course of a season.
And he's the player sacrifice when they go down a man.
Yes, what I don't understand is why you don't sacrifice another 9 with him. Why you don't say, I don't need 2 9s there. This does me no good. I need midfield depth. I need to strengthen that block. I need to manage the situation.
Kasey, there was a lot of excitement online when the lineup came out. We saw Pepi and Balogun in there together. What do you think of the notion, just the fact that Gregg Berhalter decided to go with 2 up top? And then for the brief time that we truly saw it in full effect, what did you think? Is it a viable option moving forward?
Well, not on the evidence of today's performance, which, I mean, again, let's not. I think when you look at both these matches, the way you've been analyzing it is, yeah, you play a certain amount of time with the man down, with the team packed in, then you play another certain amount of time with your guy getting sent off. So it's not a fair representation, but I would have loved to see an interaction a little bit better between the two. I didn't really see a lot of combination play. I didn't see like either of them quite understood where they were going to run. Was one going to check, was going to run off? I didn't see any kind of cohesiveness in that front line. Now, there was moments when Aronson, I think, started the game well, and he kind of came inside, had a couple shots. I agree, Herc, with your analysis of the opportunity from Aronson. If he had looked up, he just slides the ball over to Pepe for a tap-in. That would have made more sense. Balogun, I didn't see a lot in the 2 games, to be honest. And what I need to see from a player, and what I think what you're going to learn from this, and I know it's a little false because it's not like the U.S. has to go through a qualifying season with, 8, 9 away games in difficult CONCACAF conditions. But I saw a player that was kind of like, well, these aren't the pitches I'm used to in Europe. This isn't the refereeing I'm used to in Europe. And it just, he didn't look as I saw him play in some of the friendlies. So, yeah, I think there's still some question marks up there. And then the same thing with Pepe. We keep talking, hey, look at the way he plays when he comes on as a sub. Well, I didn't see that from the start of the game. So then it kind of goes back to that justification. Yeah, maybe he's just a better player in the last 20 minutes for us, because when you get that opportunity to finally start, then show everybody, this is why I should have been starting from the front. And I didn't see that from Pepi today either.
Yeah, Seth, can we talk about that for a second? I mean, this formation, because it's two strikers up top, right? But it's not traditional wingers. It almost looks like a diamond, if you will. At times, it looks like Gio Reyna's leaning to the right, and he's got free room to come in. And it's Brendan Aronson being more active, Serginho Dest providing the width, right? But those two strikers up top, not only were they not cohesive, not only did they lack that chemistry, but Folarin Balogun looked too eager. The opening 15, 20 minutes, I saw him on the ball. He was losing a lot of the possession. He was getting into the midfield. He was dropping back. He was trying to get on the ball himself and do things that I don't want him doing. His bread and butter is his movement. Stay with Ricardo up top. Let the creative players like a Giovanni Reyna, like a Serginho Dest, like a Luca Della Torre, let those players, Yunus Musa, facilitate, find the open spaces for you. I don't need him dropping back there. That, to me, was a bit of a head scratcher. And I hate what Kasey said. I hate what he said because he's right. And this is the problem with it. Ricardo Pepi, when you start doing so well as a substitute, you get typecast as that super sub. Maybe he's better as a super sub. It's one of those situations that I wish you would have bagged one early to put that to bed. Because right now, that's what people are going to say. That's the narrative. It's going to be a narrative of whatever happens to Folarin Balogun, but maybe it's just Ricardo Pepi's better as a substitute player, which I'm not trying to buy into, but is out there.